Howdy folks! Have you ever seen a Rubens tube? I'm here at Texas A&M University today to show you how to make one. Let's meet our two physicists. Hi John.
Hello.
Hi Roy.
Hello.
Alright, what do you guys have here?
Well, what we have here is a 9-foot long copper pipe and a propane tank. And what we're going to try to make is a Rubens tube. So first off, we're going to cut or put 3 valves into this copper pipe and connect the propane tank into it. And then along the top of the pipe, we're going to drill holes every 1/2 inch. And then we're going to light it all on fire. So what you'll see is small flames every 1/2 inch of the same pipe. Then we're going to cap one end and mount a speaker in the other. So as sound moves through air, it causes the air to compress and expand in different areas. So when we mount the speaker over here, as the sound's moving through, it's going to generate, certain areas are going to be compressed and certain areas are going to be expanded. And when we generate a standing wave at a particular frequency, that's one specific sound. What you're going to see is a spot of high pressure that doesn't move and a spot of low pressure that doesn't move. So when this thing is filled with propane and it's all lit on fire, here's a spot of high pressure, we're going to see a tall flame. And over here, if there's a spot of low pressure, there's going to be a very low flame or no flame at all. And different frequencies, different sound waves, are going to change the locations of those high and low pressure points. Well, right now what we need to do is drill all the holes. We want to drill them pretty precisely, so if you just go right at it with a drill, the bit will jump all over the place. So what we're going to do is pre-punch the hole, put a little divot in the copper, and then that way the drill bit won't slide around. So we've already marked them every 1/2 inch. And we just need to bang a little dent in the copper. Here's our propane tank. We have a regulator here, and it feeds in. It goes into this little T. And then into the pipe, we've actually soldered in little fittings. So we just have the hose directly into that. And then these are soldered onto the pipe. This is the end we're going to be mounting the speaker on. And since this is going to be filled up with propane, we don't want it leaking out into the regular room. But we have to have sound waves that can go through it. So what we have here is a latex glove. And we're going to stretch it over the end and seal it on. That way it contains the butane over here, but basically when it's stretched tight, it's going to be sort of like a drum. And the sound will transmit basically right through it.
Okay. Let's make it tight. Oh, not so tight. Okay, we'll use this one.
Yeah.
You're just too strong, man. Alright. Just tight enough so it's not like wrinkly, and okay, there we go. Okay.
It actually doesn't take much speaker power to generate these waves. Here we've got an ordinary computer speaker hooked up to a laptop, generating wave functions.
Unless, do you have any other ideas? Or?
I mean, well, we can light it with other lights.
Okay.
Don't try this at home, kids.
Let's wait until it fills up.
Yeah, it takes a minute for the gas to build up.
Oh, okay.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool indeed.
You want to do the Amazing Race thing?
Which was
That was one that came out pretty well with it. So what I'm doing right now is certain ones are having very low gas flow. So I'm trying to file them out to smooth them out like all the rest. When it's burning, that's the only time you can really tell which ones are blocked. We're generating a 550 Hertz tone. And as I increase the volume, you can see that the compression gets stronger at these different areas. So how louder the volume is, the more compression is in the middle and the less compressed it is at the other points. And then when the volume goes back to 0, the wave disappears. Now Roy's about to cycle through a couple different frequencies, each of about 5 seconds. So what you're going to see is peaks of varying lengths. And what happens is different frequencies of sound have different wavelengths. So a high frequency, which sounds like a high note, has a shorter wavelength. So higher frequencies, you're going to see a whole lot more peaks than you are with the lower frequencies.
And then we can actually let the kids actually
Yeah.
play with it. Just put it like a long cable so they're
Yeah.
not even anywhere near. And they just come and like play.
See, I think this is neat.
I agree.
Like that.
Now we're done, so we're just blowing the propane out of the tube so it all burns up.
Okay, 1, 2, 2.
Alright guys, thanks for the demonstration. So, why did you make this Rubens Tube?
There's a physics festival this coming Saturday, so there's going to be tons of demonstrations, sort of like this. Well, not like this, ours is the best, but a lot of other physics demonstrations.
Cool. Alright. Bye. Bye kids.